Hello, folks. How you guys doing? There's no BGM. Let me bring it up. There we go. Hello, folks. How you guys doing? I'm Deadman Apollo, the world's most radiant skeleton. It's kind of weird. I look more bright and shiny than I thought I would. Maybe it's because I previewed this stream on the other monitor, and now when I look here, I'm quite radiant, as I should be. I'm wearing the white shirt variant of my new outfit because I don't think I've used it yet. I just kind of it's a feature, and I showed it briefly during the reveal of this outfit, and then I haven't used it since, and I thought, hey, you know what, let's use it. Also, let me tell you the real reason as to why. This shit's a bit too dark. Actually, it's just kind of nice to have a white shirt on for once. How you guys been doing? It's been a hot minute. I mean, I did play Mecha Chameleon the other day with the folks, with the homies. I didn't tweet that I started. But yeah, I did play Mecha Chameleon. It ended up being the first stream I do. I did when upon my return. However, now we're doing the actual return stream. Just gonna post on Twitter. Hajimaru. Yeah, I'm sorry about the slight delay. Preparations ended up taking a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but what can you do? It's my own tardiness, I guess. I didn't start preparing until like half an hour before the stream. Not the delay time, mind you. But I ran a couple of errands earlier on, bought more groceries, got my dinner for today, and then the picture stuff with my phone is like, ugh. It didn't transfer everything I wanted from the phone to the PC, and then I noticed, I was like, ah, dang it, I won't be able to have enough. There's not enough time. So I had to delay it by 20 minutes. If I had started maybe yesterday with the preparations, we could have started on time, but it is what it is. We're here now. I'm also realizing that this setup is not good at all for showing off pictures. I do have a bunch of pictures here, but for showing those off, I mean, this ain't good. This is not good. This ain't good. It's also a 1440p stream today. I hope it doesn't lag for people. I'm trying out a whole bunch of new settings, so hopefully that'll be okay. I know that some people have issues when watching a 1440p stream, even if you downscale it to 720p, for example. As long as the main feed is in 1440p, the stream just stutters for them, and then I was like, damn it. So I swapped to 1080p for a while, and it's kind of, I'm not satisfied with the quality, so I swapped back to 1080p. Yo, Emika, 来てくれてありがとう。新しい服？そうそう、これは俺の新衣装だよ。見てよ。ドドドン。青もなる。ドドン。Also, let me greet everybody. Yo, suspicious person, Cyber, Mika, and Emika. How you guys doing? Let me show you guys how beautiful I am in human form. あとは人間の姿。は。すごくない？めっちゃ handsome. I'm way too beautiful in this form though. So we need some balance. That's why I started off in skeleton. なんかハンサムすぎるから、ちょっと骸骨でやろう。ちょっとだけ骸骨でやろう。でもね、旅行から帰ってきました。Love human form with the white. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it. Human form with the white is really nice. これ良くない？白いシャツ、人間と。But this outfit really does make me look more feminine. It does. Let me swap back, otherwise we're all gonna turn gay around here. Even me. When I look at myself. Anyway, Jokes aside. Let me see. Where are my pictures at? Where are my pictures? Shashin doko. I've got some notes here as well. Note mo aru. Irona note. Ato wa, how's the audio balancing? Onsei balance wa do? Ii? Audio balance. I need to put this over here. Yeah, there we go. I think that works better. YouTube has been behaving oddly for you lately. Yo, Chi, how you doing? Unrelated to my streaming resolution though. Human Apollo, Ikemen to you. Bijin nanda. Hehe. Hehe. Ikebo sugiru. I'm Ikebo. Listen, folks. I got absolutely ravaged by the bus. They screwed me over on the first day, right? Where I was, my initial plan was to utilize this service called Hertz Freerider. So when people use rental cars over here, those rental cars will need to be driven back to certain locations. Or maybe some guy has made an order for a rental car. They want to go ahead and pick it up, say in Stockholm, but the car is all the way over in some other town. Hertz Freerider lets you drive that car for free down to Stockholm. And I was kind of banking on doing that, and it's for free. You get to just use a rental car for free. And I was kind of banking on that to go back home, but didn't work out. Even though in all the previous weeks, there were cars available, but then there wasn't. So I had to just book a flight back to my hometown. And this is where the first issue shows up. Usually, over here, when there's a scheduled flight, there'll be a bus to the airport an hour and a half before the flight departs. So it'll show up, it'll take you there, and you'll have an hour at the airport or something. But this time, the bus did not show up. It did not show up. And I was at the bus station 2 hours prior to departure. But it just didn't show up. So here I am, 15 minutes before the flight is going, and it's a 20-minute drive to the airport. And I'm panicking, and I'm like, shit, the bus didn't show up. They screwed me. They screwed me. So I had to begrudgingly call a taxi. It was like 50 bucks, 500 Swedish crowns. Just get your ass over to the airport. And I finally arrived like 20 minutes left until the damn plane departs. And I'm the last one boarding. I made it. I made it on the flight, but shit. That was stressful. Stress that I did not need. However, I mean, I did get to see this beautiful sunset. Let me bring up the pictures. Ah, there it is. There it is. Hold on. Let me just... Yeah, that's a picture of Seinfeld. Don't worry about Seinfeld. I'm just adjusting this. Man, I need to like... I don't have a good place to put it. Anyway, look at this sunset. This is from the plane. Absolutely gorgeous. This is what I was mentioning earlier, that I don't really have a good place. Maybe I can just... Wow. Yeah, maybe I can move myself. I need to fire up Shoost. How about I get rid of all this? All of this on my table. Table no yatsu zenbu kesu. Get rid of the table. Not me. We do not get rid of me. Get out of here, Apotomo. And I'll get rid of my microphone as well. If I can find it. There it is. And then I'll just scoot over a little bit to the side. So how do I do that? Position. There we go. I'll scoot over here a little bit so we can actually go ahead and look at the pictures. And I'll do this as well. I will also move you guys just a little bit. There we go. What was that? What did I move? Yeah, this is good. This is good. Apollo doxes himself. He is Seinfeld. No, I am not Jerry Seinfeld. So what's the deal with airline peanuts? But yeah, that was gorgeous. I really enjoyed this view. I was like, whoa! I did not have the window seat. So I had to ask the lady next to me, hey, can I take a nice little picture? ちょっと写真撮ってもいい? And she was like, yeah, of course. So I took this picture. Very nice, very nice. This is like in the middle of the way, I believe. Like between the town I live in and Arlanda, the big airport in Stockholm. Yeah, right in between. So really nice, really nice. Now the reason why I had pictures of Seinfeld here is because in the every morning basically, and my parents also have Netflix, so I just put on my favorite sitcom and just watch Seinfeld in the morning while having breakfast. And I kind of introduced my mother to Seinfeld as well. She kind of ended up enjoying Seinfeld. She was like, this show is actually really fun. Maybe I'll check it out, she said. Well, what's the next picture? I wish I didn't change. Anyway, let me see. Let me bring up my notes. So yeah, the getting on the plane was a little bit hectic because of that shit, because of how no airport bus was there. But the weird thing is, when I arrived at the airport, I did see a bus there. So like, did a bus actually drive over or what? What happened? Oh, what are we doing here? What the fuck? Did the bus just decide to go like 3 hours before and they lied? I don't know. I couldn't find any online portal about it. Just the basic info on the bus's website. Just like, oh, an hour and a half before we do the thing. They couldn't have skipped my stop. That's the stop I always take. That would be messed up. It's right on the route as well. Ugh. Anyway, on the very first, not the very first day, I arrived at like 11 p.m. No, at like 1 a.m. actually. My flight was a pretty late flight, but I arrived really late. My mother came. I arrived at Stockholm at midnight. My mother picked me up, and we arrived back home at like 1:30 a.m. We had some hamburgers on the way because we got hungry at McDonald's. But yeah. And then very next day, like no time to unwind, my mother was like, "Hey, Apollo, we're gonna go to this beach. Yeah, we're gonna go to this beach and meet you know, every one of your relatives are gonna be there. Like my cousin was there, my cousin's cousin was there, my grandpa was there. Yo, Butler Pointer, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Long time to see. And yeah, like fucking everybody was there, and it was really hot, like 28 degrees Celsius with 100% humidity. So right off the bat, you go outside, you're dying, and oh, holy, that was not fun. That was not fun at all. I mean, it was fun meeting family, but I did not have the... There's a part of my family that I just don't want to see ever. And they were there as well, so that was really exhausting. But hey, luckily, my sister, who was also there, she showed up with her... Listen, Cyber. Warmth in Australia is different. You don't have it humid like we do. We have it humid, so you can't even breathe. The meme cousins were there, yeah. But luckily, my sister, who also had an errand to run that day, was there. And she came with her own car. She showed up with her own car. And she wanted to bolt pretty fast. We had dinner, barbecue and stuff. And then right after the barbecue, she was like, all right, I gotta go. And I was like, hey, sister, let me come back with you. Because she was gonna stop by at our house, at our home, and get a change of clothes. And I was like, drop me off, please. So luckily, I only had to spend 2 hours there, thank God. And the rest of that day, I just kind of... I was also really tired for some reason. The first 3 days I was there, I was just exhausted with the worst brain fog ever. So my plan was like, all right, during downtime, I'll just play Paper Mario 1000 Year Door on my Switch too. But I was so tired, I couldn't even focus. So I was like, okay, I'll just play some Genshin, do some character quests that I have skipped. But then I couldn't really even focus on those either. So I just kind of ended up being a potato, just mindlessly watching Seinfeld, which I've seen like a billion times. But Seinfeld is my comfort food. But yeah, anyway. The following day, I believe at that time as well, my father wasn't there. He had just gone on a fishing trip for 4 days. The first few days are a little bit hazy because nothing really happened. But I did go to the store nearby and I saw this cursed chocolate. I was like, damn. They're really still cashing in on... It's not even Labubu Dubai chocolate. Gotta cash in on every meme, right? And look at them. Let's go human for a little bit. Take my Skelly glasses off. Put my Skelly... There we go. Human ones. Yeah, look at me. I'm so handsome. Anyway. But at some point, my mother, my sister, and I did go to dinner at a place called... well, it's right there. It's a chain over here, so it's in many towns, but it's really nice. Blackstone. They serve... It's basically... You know, you grill your own food. Or sear your own food? Anyway, they serve it on this very hot rock over here. And it's really good. I chose... all of us pretty much chose the beef and seafood platter. So we got a nice chunk of beef. Some garlic butter. That's béarnaise. And baked potato and shrimp. These big shrimp. And filet. And man, honestly, I like a good steak, but the shrimp was killer. It was so good. I love the shrimp. Yeah, here's just a little bit of a zoom in. So yeah, the stone here would just keep cooking it. So you'd actually have to be careful to not overcook it. Where you just like cut chunks off of it, cook it the way you want, and have it. Oh, but this was really good. You know the garlic butter here? Saving it, and then just pouring it all over this, letting it soak up. And what's so amazing about this shrimp is that it absorbs all the butter. So when you bite into it later, it's like a flavor explosion in your mouth. Oh, it was so good. I miss it already. It was so good. But the funny thing is, when my family eats on the same table, nobody really talks. So it was pretty silent. None of us like talking to each other while we're eating. We just want to focus on our food. And we just kind of ate it in silence. We did, I think, a little bit of small talk showed up here and there, but that was it. Yeah, Mom was like, hey, you're back. Let me treat you to something fancy. And I was like, no, Mom, it's expensive. Let me at least pay. She didn't let me. She didn't let me. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice. Shit. I'll get to that later. But yeah, during the first few days, not really many activities, just really hanging out with the core family. My parents and my sister. And then we went to this discount store called Echo. And they had this advertisement for the world's saddest burger I've ever seen. Look at that. I mean, it's super cheap. It's barely $2. But man, that is sad. I was laughing to myself, thinking, man, that's like the saddest burger I've ever seen in my life. Saddest burger I've ever seen in my... The average trip stop burger. Yo, how you doing? That's fucking funny. Isn't this supposed to be on 2? I'm looking at my settings here. No, not $16. It's $1.6. Not 1.6. Yeah, actually, that is true. $1.6. Very cheap. Like something you would make for myself. Real. Yo, Psygnosis. How you doing? Robot hips. You too. How much is that exactly? I mean, for dollars, it's really easy to convert. Imagine 10 Swedish crowns. Just add a decimal in between the 1 and the 0, and you get $1. It's pretty even. Pretty even. So yeah, that was like such a sad burger. Ugh. Well, what's the next? What picture is up next? Yeah, and in my town, every now and then, well, not every now and then, but yearly, there's car meet where people from all over the country bring up their old classic cars Oh, actually, let me transfer a couple of pictures of said cars. I was a little bit careful with them earlier because I didn't really want to show too much about my town. My hometown, you know, gotta be careful with with the doxing. Okay, these two pictures are at least safe to show. This one too. Let me transfer this quickly to my computer. I'm not gonna say the name of the event either. Geez, why is this goddamn thing so slow lately? There's this feature called Quick Share on Samsung, on Android in general, where you'd be able to just transfer pictures really fast, but now it's just painfully slow. Okay, well, that's gonna take a while. But anyway, it was on the day my father finally came back home from fishing. Actually, a day after he came back home from fishing. That's the kind of burger they be serving here now, that we can't have raw veggies without diarrhea. Oh yeah, I heard about America having this crazy parasite in your veggies that causes explosive diarrhea. Couldn't be here. But yeah, the day after dad came back home, my mother had like a girls meeting with her friends, so she left. So it was only my mother and only me and my father. My sister also went to Italy with her boyfriend, and he engaged to her there, by the way. So they're engaged now. Hell yeah, you're a carnivore based. Father was like at 5 p.m. he told me, hey Apollo, how about we go to this town 2 kilometers up north and go fishing? And I'm like, dude, it's like 5 p.m. It's like 5 p.m., dude. We're gonna arrive there, we're gonna fish for an hour, and then we're gonna have to go back home. So I suggested, well, why don't we go to the car event then? You like cars. I'm not particularly interested in classic cars, but I mean, you are, so let's go check that out. And he was like, okay, yeah, that's fine too, because it's only once a year. No big engagement party? Yeah, that's gonna happen a bit later. But it's really cute. My sister showed the picture of the ring to like everybody after she came back home from her trip. She was like, hey, bro, look, he proposed. And it's this really nice pink gold ring with a huge diamond on it. I'm sure her boyfriend got robbed. I'm sure his wallet is hurting after that ring. Congratulations, Napone. Also, even Apollo. Yo, Sharon, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And did the pictures finally transfer? Yeah, I believe they did. Let me just it's 3 pictures. There you go. Put them in the correct folder. I guess I have to reopen IRFan. There you go. Yeah, I do. But yeah, so we decided to go to the big meeting. And yeah, the people showed off their classic cars. This one in particular, I kind of like. I'm a big fan of the colors. I was like, wow, this one's actually nice. A lot of people showed off really shitty cars as well, and you'll see in a moment. But man, also the air was awful, because these old cars, the exhaust, man, that was stinky. It stuck to my hair and clothes later on, and I was like pissed off about it. But this one in particular I really liked, and I was like, hey, this car is kind of Apollo, isn't it? Isn't it kind of Apollo? Let me swap back for a second. With the fires and the colors and all whatnot. Yeah, we wandered around there for like about 2 hours just looking at the cars. I ran into some old friends that I hadn't met in like a billion years, and also a relative of mine that I didn't want to meet. But I thought this was really funny. They had a whole bunch of stalls, like food stalls and stands where people sold their shit. And they were like, hey, we're selling yakiniku here. But it was just kebab. This shit's just kebab. It's not yakiniku, this is kebab. I thought it was really funny. And this is tacos. What do you mean yakiniku? I mean, I suppose if you translate the word yakiniku, which means grilled meat, I guess it's not inaccurate, but come on. This ain't yakiniku. This is not yakiniku at all. This is just kebab and tacos. Marinara streamlined entrecote. This is ribeye. This is marinated ribeye. Shredded ribeye. With salad, pickled onions, chili mayo, sesame seeds, and roasted onion. Yak kebab. Yeah, exactly. It's yak kebab. This car was really funny because the only thing keeping it open is a can of Monster. They just put a Monster there. Now, obviously, none of these cars are street legal. You can't really drive them around on the street. However, my city makes an exemption just for this event because these cars are classic, and while they're not safe for the road, they get to like drive around really slowly just for the show. So this is like the only time of year where these people can actually drive these cars around. But yeah, people were also kind of drinking booze, you can see here. I wonder, I'm pretty sure some of the drivers were also drunk. 100% of those would be street legal here, even this one side. This piece of shit right here. Oh man, I didn't notice those stickers. Why did they put those stickers there? But yeah, this hunk of junk was just dragging that metal all around. And that sucks. I didn't notice those stickers when I took that picture. But this stall was really funny. I didn't censor that lady's face. There were multiple stalls where they sold like TikTok trending bullshit, and all of them were fake. There was not a single genuine article. All of these were fake. They were $10 each and all fake. You have fake Labubus, you have fake crybabies, you have fake squishy buns. These are apparently really popular in TikTok these days. Yeah, all of these fake. I guess these Funko Pops are genuine because they're a piece of shit to begin with. But I thought it was really funny. I didn't notice they also sell penis, rainbow penis, I guess, and long cat. Look at this horse. You're the horse, baby. You're the horse. What's the next picture? But yeah, we pretty much just checked that event out with my they're $10 each, so they're not even really priced like a real one. So I guess you get what you pay for. I was kind of curious. I was like, because I forgot to bring the Labubu I got my sister in Japan, a red big into energy Labubu, I figured, hey, maybe I'll just pick up a Labubu here. But the second I picked up one of the packaging, I was like, oh, this is so fucking fake. This is so... Let me show you if it's possible. So none of these packagings, right, had any adhesive on them. It was just a taped shut box. You can kind of see it here with how it arcs. Just a piece of tape there. So there was no adhesive or anything. So right away, you could tell by the awful quality of the box that this was fake. And in some other stalls, they also had pre-opened Labubus kind of like this for $10 each. And the quality was really bad. So I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna get her a fake Labubu. Labubi. Lobotomize me for after seeing all this shit. But yeah, this is what me and my father ended up doing that day. And the day after, I had plans with my best friend. I was like, yo, homie, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. We gotta hang out. My best friend, Wonder Tony Wonderman, he sometimes shows up in chat, so we can call him Wonder Tony. But he shows up at our place, and you know, I've known him since I was 10 years old, fourth grade. So he knows my family very well. Let's get rid of this and put the monster car here and instead. But he showed up. He was like, "Hey, how you doing? My second family." So you know, he just sat down in the morning. He showed up at around 12 p.m. He showed up, and just sat down with my family. We talked and caught up a little bit. He had dinner with us as well. We had steak. Well, I say dinner, but it was at 3 p.m. And luckily, we all had skipped lunch that day, so we ate dinner at 3 p.m. I'll swap over to human. It's a shame when my beauty isn't shown. There we go. Where am I thinking? But yeah, we ate steak. It was great. It was really nice. It was super nice. And then we had plans to go over to my best friend's house. He was like, yo, bro, well, not a house. He bought an apartment recently with his wife. And he told me, yo, bro, I want to show you my place. And then we can have kebab over there. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we said bye to my parents and got into his car. He has this really nice electric Kia. Really nice car. But what really surprised me, when the car booted up, suddenly I'm hearing Hoshimachi Suisei blasting on the speakers. I'm like, wait, did this connect to my own phone and play my playlist somehow through Bluetooth? And let me bring it up. I was really surprised. I was like, wait, what? Dang it. But yeah, I'll just hide that later. But I was really surprised. This doesn't dox anything about where my parents and stuff live or where he lives, just a GPS. But I guess you know what town is my hometown. It's fine, I don't live there anymore. I should have censored that. Anyway, it's honestly not a big problem. You wouldn't know anyway. But yeah, I just see Hoshimachi Suisei in the car blasting. I was like, what the hell? I was checked my phone, but nothing was playing. And then bro is just looking at me really smug. He's like, heh, bro, listen. I know what kind of music you like. So I prepared this playlist so we could listen, so you could listen to it on the way to my place. And I was like, oh, you bastard. Oh, you beautiful bastard. So that really surprised me. Hoshimachi Suisei from Fortnite. Somebody ban suspicious person for saying that. But yeah, well, what a guy. He doesn't listen to Suisei himself, but he played that just for me, just to surprise me. What a guy. What a fun guy. what a Kino kind of guy. And that's why he's my best friend. He knows. You have to formally apologize for your Fortnite trolling. John Warframe is dropping into Tomato Town and you have to comply. Wow. They're having a Cyber! Why'd you do that? It was a joke! Every message suspicious person posted was deleted. I hope suspicious person didn't actually get timed out. A worthy of mini heart attack. That's funny. You weren't supposed to. Oh, it was sarcasm. It was sarcasm. Just 60 seconds? Okay, that's good. That's good. Think about what you've done, suspicious person. I wish it didn't delete their history, though. This reminds me, Cyber, of when Yola deleted your entire message history. That was really funny. By accident. Ah, man. But yeah, I got to see his place. Got to catch up with him there as well. Got to meet his wife for real this time, actually. He's been together with his wife, or his... He got married to his wife 2 years ago, but I hadn't really properly met her for a long time. And that's when I actually got to, you know, have a conversation with her. Because I met her during their wedding as well. But, you know, during a wedding, things are busy. So it was nice getting to meet her as well. And then we went to a bar. We went to this really nice bar. And they had this Japan theme going on, where they were like, these drinks, they're based off of like Japanese things. And I got myself this thing called, what was it, Mamoru? They named it Mamoru, which was pretty fruity. And that whipped cream was really good. Honestly, a pretty girly drink, to be honest, but I don't care. I can't handle the taste of alcohol. But I had one of those. He had the one to the right. I don't remember what that. I think it was user or something. But they were really good. And then I had 2 Moscow mules and I got drunk. And I think bro had an old what is it called? Old Natch. Huh? What's the drink called? Let me see. Alcoholic drink, old fashioned. He had an old fashioned. Yeah, he had an old fashioned. He really likes old fashioned. I don't though, because it's too alcoholic for me. The flavor of booze is just way too strong for my sad ass. So I didn't have any of that. But yeah, it was nice catching up to my buddy. I wish I could have hung out with him some more. Old fashioned, yeah. I wish I could have hung out with him some more, but my schedule was pretty packed because this was on a Saturday. No, this was on a Sunday. And the following day, I was supposed to go to Norway with my family. So yeah, I was pretty... We hung out there until midnight, midnight, and then on my phone, my father was like, "Hey, why aren't you coming home?" I'm like, "Fine, I could have been there all night chatting with my buddy, but we had to leave. Since I was drunk and bro was drunk as well, neither of us could drive, so my dad came and picked us up. Oh, and here's a close-up picture of a male mosquito. There was a mosquito flying around and I was ready to murder it, but then I noticed, wait, Wonder Tony Wonderman, that's not a female mosquito, that's a male mosquito. So I took a picture of it. And it's kind of funny how they have this really fuzzy antenna compared to the females, because these guys, they don't drink blood. It's only the females who drink blood because they need it for the eggs, apparently. So I took a close-up picture of that and I was like, damn, my camera phone is good. Damn, so it's good. Oh yeah, this bar was really fancy. So when you went to the bathroom, they just had this tower of small towels. And I was like, damn, I've never seen that before. They're that fancy? Just one-time use towels? I guess they wash them up. I wish I could have shown you pictures of the environments. I mean, I guess I can now, but whatever. Whatever. But yeah, the following day, went to sleep. Went to bed pretty late. 2 a.m. I guess that night, and we had to wake up at like 8 a.m. for the trip to Norway. But I was kind of fine. It was kind of fun anyway. I remember waking up pretty fine. But yeah, it was a long drive to our destination, and we didn't drive all the way there right away. We kind of decided to make a stop at a Norwegian town called, what was it? Notodden? And this was it. This town was it. We had to drive a total of 800 kilometers, I believe, to our destination, which was Trolltunga. It's translated into Troll's Tongue, which is a really nice mountain, a very popular hiking spot. But we were like, instead of just being exhausted and driving all day, let's just stop by this town, check it out, just sleep there. And it was a really nice town. It was kind of small, but it had pretty much everything you could want. This was our Airbnb for that day. Just a really nice apartment with the 2 bedrooms, or well, 1 bedroom really. This was my corner. This is where I slept. And I thought my dad would sleep in the same room as my mother because there was a king-size bed. But dad slept on the couch. He was like, nah, I want to sleep here. Because he wanted to watch the game. The football game. No, what match was it back then? It was some game. He wanted to watch it and mom wanted to go to bed early. So he slept on the couch. And I'm not into soccer at all. But I watched it with him. I was like, hey, I may as well just... I guess spend some time with me fed and watch the game. And then when that game ended at like 1 a.m., we went to bed and we kept on trucking. Now my plan, right? My plan for entertainment on the car was like, basically I'm just gonna play watching Norway game in Norway. Hell yeah! Sadly, Norway's match was not then. Was not at that time. I didn't watch a single game, but engaging in the World Cup shit posting was fun. It really was. Sadly, Argentina is doing has bribed everything, so they're probably gonna win. Norway got robbed. Norway got super robbed. They should have won. So nice living room. Yeah, America beating Australia was so embarrassing. For real, for real. Where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah, my plan for the entire like car trip was to play Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, and I did play the game until this town, because after this area, the fucking landscape transformed completely. So instead of playing games, I was just kind of, oh yeah, this is these are some pictures of the town. Just we went by the river, by the lake rather. Took a couple of pictures, and I found this cool metal tree. Look at that. It was cool. It reminded me of Elden Ring. You need to check if that one VTuber who cursed the World Cup still has a curse. Yeah, Essie. Estelle, she still cursed it. She was rooting for France yesterday. France lost. France lost. So the curse is still on. Surely the ref bet on Argentina. Oh, for sure. There's some insider trading going on. Or betting. Sorry, not sorry, Cyber. It's called hometown advantage. Yeah. I guess I'll get back to my thoughts about the landscape later on. But in Notodden, there's this really old 200-year-old church. It looks like it's half charred, but we saw it on the way, and I was like, hey, let's make a stop here and check it out. It's really cool. Really cool church here. Oh, this church is famous, Yola? How you doing, Yola? Thanks for coming. Look at it. It's really cool. And it's just kind of coincidence that this apparently famous church was in the town we stopped by. Oh, it looks like the famous one. We saw a lot of tourists here, like even people from China and stuff. But this was really nice. I really enjoyed the architecture. But and I wanted to go inside and check out the interior, right? But the price for that was kind of steep, and I was like, whatever. It's kind of it looks nice from the outside. That's all I needed to see. Took a couple of selfies with my parents as well. Looks like something they recreated for the Disney's Epcot park. But yeah, it was highly detailed. I wonder why it's black though. Is the sun so brutal these days that it just made it that way? Or did it burn at some point? Or maybe it's aesthetic. Maybe they just put charcoal on it because of aesthetics. But yeah, after we had our fill of church, we kept on going, and this is when I stopped playing on my Switch 2 and just for 3 hours straight just looked at the landscape because it was just so beautiful. And then my dad was like, hey, Apollo, just take a bunch of pictures while we were driving. And I have so many drive-by pictures of just taking pictures of the landscape. I don't have them all included here in this stream, but I have so many pictures. And oh, sorry. The fjords of Norway is just so beautiful. Like, look at this. You gotta look around. You gotta look at the landscape while you're doing that. Oh yeah, this is some wheat. My dad plucked some wheat near the church. He was like, hey, this is gonna be nice decoration for the car. But yeah, it's beautiful. Just beautiful rapids. Just a lot of stuff. Now, this is something I thought was super interesting, because you can see a whole bunch of forests and stuff. This side here is kind of warm. And then far in the distance, you see there's all these snowy mountains. And I'm like, is this like a barrier? Like, it's once we go past the mountains, it's just gonna be frigid. And it kind of was, because the further we went up the mountains, it just became more snowy and stuff. And I was like, damn, this is gorgeous. And yeah, this is before a tunnel. We made a stop here because I really needed to pee. And I was like, hey, there's a toilet there. Let me just go pee there. And Dad was like, all right, I wanted to check out the environment anyway. But man, it's getting more mountainous. You can tell we're pretty high up in the mountains at this point. And this is next place is probably our favorite part. But after this area was this 2-kilometer long tunnel through the mountains. And then when you went out, it looked like this. And luckily, next to the exit of the tunnel, there was like a stop where people could just get off and wander around. And we did that. And we were like, holy damn, this is gorgeous. Remind me a little bit of Death Stranding. So I got a bit of a Death Stranding vibe in my head. And I was like, damn, this is gorgeous. It was also really cold here and windy. I had to put on my warm jacket. Of course, we brought warm clothes around with us as well, because the mountaintops of Norway gets pretty cold, and these are pretty high. This is pretty high up. I mean, you can see by the snow. It was pretty cold, but it was so goddamn gorgeous. Yeah, I went up this trail, like over here. I took this picture. Do I have any more pictures of this mountain? Yeah, I think I do one more. Yeah, and I kept just wandering ahead or going further up, taking more pictures. I have way more pictures of this place, but it's funny. At the end of the trip, we all agreed that this was the best place. Oh, it's loading? Ooh, ah! Oh no! Oh no! I wonder if it's because I'm streaming in 1440p. What? Is it possible to reduce the resolution of a stream midstream? Because I'm pretty sure this is the 1440p is what's causing it. Working no problem for you? Dang it. I'm sorry for the streaming issues. YouTube is shit. YouTube is awful. But yeah, the three of us, we all agreed pretty much. Yeah, this was the best place in the entire trip. This was the most beautiful place. Works fine on your iPad? Okay, that's good. Totally not someone familiar. Suspicious person. Your internet is fucking you. Ooh-ah. Ooh-ah. But I should definitely scale it down to 1080p in the future, because apparently 4040p, even if you select the low quality setting, should be streaming on Twitch. But I don't want. I've actually been kind of thinking about dual streaming, but that's a thing for another day. Anyway, we had our fun there, and we decided to keep on going. And for quite a while, the scenery was really beautiful, and I took like 1 billion pictures on the way there. Man, the cool people on Twitch. Your side buffers for a minute as well. Maybe bro will have to start multi-streaming. Anyway, eventually we made it to our... I know, right? They're gorgeous. Eventually we made it to our cabin, and this is the cabin we had rented. And it was way beyond expectation. It was so much nicer than we... You've been getting buffering issues too? Alright, 1440p on YouTube is cooked. Can I reduce the resolution mid-stream? Is that possible? Would that be possible? Let me look that up real quick. You're in the same boat with Tinsoft? The heck is Tinsoft? What is Tinsoft? Where was that? There we go. Anyway, this was our cabin. It was much bigger than we expected, so it was really nice. This cabin was about half an hour drive away from our the mountain we were gonna hike at. And near the cabin, you could buy ice cream. And I saw this one called Monaca. And they're like ice cream in a Japanese way, and it shares the same name as my friend hyping Monaca. Let me Google, is it possible to pause an ongoing stream and swap it to 1080p. Maybe it is. Oh. If OBS lets you, OBS is, if I close OBS real quick, then I may be able to swap it, but I don't know if YouTube supports that shit. That'd be, I think I'm just gonna have to leave it as this for now. I'm really sorry for the guys who are buffering. I'm really sorry if you're buffering. It's most likely because the stream is in 1440p and YouTube hates us. Yeah, anyway, we're digressing. But yeah, on the way to a nearby town was this beautiful waterfall. I was like, God damn, this is gorgeous. And as you can see, there's a stop here where people can just get off their cars and check it all out. But this was gorgeous. The water was so clean. This is still high up in the mountains with this mountain stream, just fresh glacier water, as fresh as, maybe not as fresh can get, because it is below the tree line. Apparently, if you want to drink water straight from a stream in the wild, you should do it below the tree line, because this water may have flowed through like dead animals and stuff. But this was gorgeous. We spent like half an hour here and looking at the stream and taking pictures and whatnot. I was standing on one of these rocks a little bit away from the riverbank, just in the middle of it, and I took a bunch of pictures, and I saw this guy drinking water. I was like, whoa, he's ballsy. Very gorgeous nature around here. Look at this. Oh my god. Yeah, you could go up and explore a little bit, check it all out. Really beautiful. And oh yeah, this is a view from the town itself. What was it? Odda? Yeah, a town called Odda in northwestern Norway. Really beautiful. I was like, damn, if I lived here, I would have gone on hikes and looked at the scenery all day, every day. It's so beautiful. What does below the tree line mean? Oh, let me see. Is there a good example here? So when you reach a certain elevation, right, Sharon, in the high up in the mountains, here's a good example. All right, yeah. You see how there are trees around here, but not over a certain elevation. It's too cold for trees to even grow there. And that means animals like mammals and stuff, you'll see birds, but mammals usually don't hang around these parts. And that means usually you'll never have any dead animal in the water, maybe aside from a bird or two, contaminating the water. But if it's like below the tree line, that means it's very likely that something may have died or pissed and shit in the water. So it may be dirty and bad. So usually it's not safe, even if it's pristine water like this, to drink it straight from the water. As long as it's not, fresh from a glacier. Like maybe if there was a pool of water here or a stream, it would have been safe. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Ulda from Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I touched a lot of grass, more grass than I've ever touched before in my life, to be real. Oh, and this was a really beautiful valley when we drove by. It's the same town, but it's like around here, right? It's around these parts. When you drive along this part, you look to your right and you see this beautiful valley. And there's a glacier over here as well. You can see it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Over here is also a hiking spot, but we didn't go there yet. There's so many hiking spots here. Straight out of Monster Hunter. Hell yeah. This is day 2. It's really funny because we were initially gonna spend day 2 on going to a very beautiful town in the western coast of Norway called Bergen. However, to access that town, you need to cross a ferry. And we were like, fuck this. First of all, the ferry costs 60 bucks to cross for 20 minutes. And also, there was a tight schedule with the ferry, so we were like, whatever, we'll just find some place nearby to hike. And our destination was this valley right here. This is where we're gonna drive over to. But man, the view on the way was gorgeous. Look at all the clouds over there. And yeah, we finally made it over there and we parked. The parking here was pretty expensive too. These guys know what they're doing, so they charge a lot for parking. I think it was about 40 bucks to just park here. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, 40 bucks to park here. At least it wasn't per person. But yeah, I think our destination was like a pool below, a lake below the glacier here. Like you can see a nice glacier over here. And the temperature was nice. It wasn't too cold, it wasn't too hot, but it was really nice. And the hiking trail started like around here. Yeah, and I took a close-up of the glacier as well. Let's swap over to Skelly for a second. I like going back and forth. As beautiful as I am. But yeah, I mean, seeing a glacier like this was pretty much a first for me. The way there was beautiful as well, of course, naturally. There was this beautiful stream going all the way from the lake down here, down into the bigger lake. It was beautiful, it's gorgeous. A couple of pictures. I took so many pictures of us, the three of us, and then selfies and whatnot. And then high up, you see all these cliffs. Imagine being up there and seeing the view from over there. Holy shit, it's beautiful. And Norway is a beautiful country. Very expensive though, super expensive. Holy shit, 1.5 kilos of chicken thighs were 30 bucks there. Like, damn. And I'm sure some of that is just the fjord tax. Because I imagine it's difficult bringing material over here and ingredients and whatnot. That's another thing as well. Every road was very hard to drive in. Like the max speed limit was 60 kilometers per second, pretty much everywhere. And they were pretty difficult mountain roads. But I mean, that's kind of what you get with this kind of terrain. Yeah. Just a couple of pictures on the rocks. It's so gorgeous. More river. And the water was really clean too. It was so blue. It's not very blue here because it's cloudy, but when the sun finally shone through, it was really blue and nice. And this was the reward. We hiked for about an hour and finally made it to this big lake. This was like the ultimate reward. God damn, it was gorgeous. So beautiful. It made the entire hike worth it. Like, there were a lot of people around here as well. In fact, right below this picture was like this woman and her man, and they were like being romantic together. But I really wanted to take this picture, so I got it. It was really nice. And we did keep on hiking. I didn't take more pictures, but we hiked around the entire like circumference up until this creek over here. Yeah, we went all the way over here and we were stopped right over here. Apparently around this part is like huge rock sliding danger at the moment. A lot of rocks are just falling down the cliffs. So beyond this point, you're not allowed to cross. At least this year is like that. Usually you can rock around the entire lake. We really wanted to check this one out because there's a bit of a beach going on over here. And it's right above the glacier as well. But hey, this place alone was pretty nice. There's like a small bridge here. You can't see it. But yeah, we walked all the way over, and this was another shot I got. I would say this is one of my artistic shots. Got the waterfall going down. There are many waterfalls from melting glaciers over there. It is. It's super gorgeous. Everybody should check out the fjords of Norway at least sometime, you know, because it was really nice. And I touched so much glass. Take the pick and charge them, get a piece of the fjord tax. Yeah, imagine if they did something like that too. They were like, all the pictures you take, this place is copyrighted. You're gonna have to pay fjord tax. What's up next? Let me check. Oh yeah, the next day was the big day. We would scale a big ass mountain and go to Trolltunga, our destination, our big hiking location. Now, this place is pretty challenging. If you start from the parking lot at the highest point, it would be 13 kilometers one way. So you would be walking like 20 something kilometers in total. But we didn't get that lucky. We didn't get the top part. So let me show you a picture first. Yeah, this is near the area. I believe this is the first parking lot of Trolltunga, which is pretty low. I need the map first. There we go. So this is the big hiking trail of Trolltunga. As you can see, folks, it's quite a path that you gotta go. So you have one parking lot over here. It's called P3, and then P2, and then off the road is P1. So from P1 to Trolltunga, in total is about 35 kilometers. From P2 to P3 is 5 kilometers, and that's back and forth. Like, so 2.5 over there, 2.5 down. And then the rest of the way is like, how much was it? About that much. Anyway, we did not start at P1. We wanted to park over at P2, but it was full, so we had to park at P1 and take a bus over to P2. And then we were like, fuck this extra path, because it's annoying. Look at this, and it's uphill all the way. So we took an additional bus over to P3, which was really expensive too. Just one way, right? A bus to P2 cost us $45, like everybody together, not one person. One person was 150, so $45, and then an additional $45 to get to P3. But we decided to pay it because we didn't want to die. Man, your hiking spot here is the hiking spot here is as scenic. Here, there's like all trees. Damn. Pay out the nose to skip. Oh, you wish hiking spot here was a scenic. Here's all trees. Yeah, it's a hike tax. How our parents told us they got to school every day. Yeah, my buddy was telling me how his grandpa would go to school like a way like this by foot was his way to school every day. But anyway, we start at P3. Good starting point, right? But like it's quite a way. Now let me show you. If we start here, it's relatively flat. There's a bit of an incline, but over here, this path here was fucking brutal. It was a massive incline upwards for like a kilometer. And then you go all the way over here, and it goes down a little bit, and then it goes up, and it's pretty balanced the rest of the way. Now you see these drinking spots? These are fresh, flowing glacier water. You can just fill your water bottle at each of these locations from a river and drink it, and it's really nice. Anyway, yeah. So this is pretty much at the beginning of the trail. It's a mountaintop. There are a couple of trees still, but not that many. It's mostly these small trees. Glacier water really does hit good. And I did have some glacier water. Actually, did I transfer the picture of the glacier water that I drank out of? I don't think I did. Let me just quickly take a look at my pictures. I did not. Let me go ahead and grab the picture of that one, because I want to show you the water that I drank. Was it this one? Yeah, that's the one. Okay, I'm gonna transfer this. There we go. So, just to elaborate a little bit, these are actual designated spots where they have ensured that the water is fresh and clean to drink. Now, there are a lot of stagnant pools, and of course, you don't drink from those. And there are some other rivers as well, but they come from stagnant pools, like flowing slowly. So you can't drink from those either. But they have specifically marked the ones that are safe to drink. So that was really nice of them to do. But yeah, it started, and we were, it was a bit of a hike up to the first hill. Very gorgeous. We were right below the snow line as well, but it was pretty warm still. I think it was about 15 degrees Celsius. Now, that's not really that warm, but what made it more brutal was the fact that the sun was blaring and there is no shade at all. So we were cooking. And now here's the thing with us. While we had plenty of water and food with us, we were not in hiking gear at all. We had pretty much regular clothes on us and our Skechers walking shoes. And no hat. No hat. And that goes to say, I did get sunburned pretty bad. My skin is currently peeling off my face. I'm still recovering from the sunburn. And to make matters worse, my mother forgot sunscreen. She usually has sunscreen on her all the time, but she forgot it. But it's fine, it's whatever. My arms got sunburned because I was wearing a t-shirt. My face, particularly my nose and my forehead got really sunburnt. My neck area is kind of okay though. But yeah, this is the start of the... Can you describe the taste of water? Yeah, I will in a bit. This was the big incline I showed you earlier, the 1 kilometer long incline. There was this poor lady, man. She was dying. She was really suffering. She would take a couple of steps up and just fall apart. And I don't know if she made it to the location, because after you made it to the top, it was pretty smooth. Honestly, it was pretty smooth. It wasn't that bad at all. Yeah, this is kind of at the top. This is about 80 way up in the incline. And I was like, damn. I looked back and I was like, holy damn, that is pretty. It got a little less brutal here. You can kind of see around here is when the incline kind of chills. But it was like walking upstairs for like a kilometer. It was pretty bad. And you can see a couple of people here dying. This guy took his shirt off. And this guy... Oh, this was the lady! Hey, that's the lady I was talking about who was dying. Look at her. She is really suffering, man. She is suffering. She was really exhausted just from this. But yeah, so much snow up here. A couple of glaciers. Just constant flow of water. And this is past that point. It was pretty flat there. A lot of water had pooled up. He's just like you for real, for real. Yeah, that would be you if you climbed this mountain. And I mean, I'm not much of a mountaineer. I went from a pretty sedentary lifestyle of never moving to this, to walking like 30 kilometers in one day. Let's swap forms. Stare straight at the sun. Yeah, the sun was brutal. The air was lighter as well, so you got exhausted or tired pretty fast. And because the air is lighter, you know, the sun feels more brutal. Because again, the temperature was not that bad. It's just you're exhausting yourself. So your internal temperature is pretty high. The sun is blaring. There's no shade. Makes you want to go there to test yourself, to be honest. Hell yeah, do it. Do it. But wear sunscreen. Wear a hat. Hat is important or your face will burn. Man, I saw this late at the end of this trip. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but at the end of this, and at the end of our hike, when we went back to the ground, I saw this girl in a tank top and shorts, and her entire body was red. I was like, damn, she's not gonna be having fun tomorrow. Yeah, and by the stagnant water with these like cotton plants, whatever the hell they are, really cute plants. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were just following the trail. I was taking pictures. I was taking a lot of pictures here of the mountain trail. Look, More snow. Oh, this is a funny story. This is a funny story. So this is one of the designated spots where you can get water safely. Wait, well, not really, honestly, because it's flowing from this dirty water. Or it's not dirty per se, but it's kind of stagnant. But anyway, this dude was like collecting water with his water bottle. And then this dog kind of pissed in the water while he was collecting water in his water bottle. So bro was drinking dog piss. I hope he didn't get to taste any of that. I thought it was amusing. But anyway, at this water place, I knew this was probably not really the best watering spot to get any water from. I was also not really hurting for water at this point. It's a flavor enhancer. Yeah, I had 3 half-liter water bottles with me, and I had gone through 2 of them at this point. So I had 1 left, and I knew I would have to fill up my water at some point. But yeah, bro is happy with his piss water here. Why did I put 2 pictures of this landscape? Anyway, it's beautiful, so whatever. Yeah. And here's more of the trail. It was pretty green, like a lot of moss and whatnot. No trees. We're way above the tree line at this point. Really pretty stuff. Let's do a little bit of a zoom in. Yeah. I don't like the colors of the picture though. Fucking Samsung. Oh, and this was finally nearing the cliff and seeing the view of the lake there. Beautiful stuff. This scene in IRL, the scale. I mean, the picture doesn't do it justice, but the scale was crazy. And robot hips, you're gonna be seeing some heights here, so careful. I was like, damn, this was so worth it. And this wasn't even our destination. And this is just 5 kilometers into the walk, and we have like what, 8 kilometers left? This is the type of scenery you see in film. You see them film the Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones in. Yeah, massively gorgeous. Look at that. And Dad at this point thought there was just a small hike left, but at some point when we got over near the rocks over there, and Dad noticed how much time we had left, he crashed out. He was like, "What the fuck? If I knew what a long hike this would have been, I would never have come." He crashed out for a little bit. So I got a little bit irritated at that, but on the way back, when we got to the place he initially started crashing out at, we kind of just made fun of it and had a laugh at that. But it was gorgeous, man. That was some beautiful stuff. It felt very much like Death Stranding. At some point, I put on my earbuds and turned on Death Stranding music, and that felt super magical, honestly. I was like, damn. This is like magic. This is super magic. Where's... Oh yeah, I have a video here. Let me show you the video. I took a video of yeah, there it is. Look how beautiful it is. Super gorgeous. Super gorgeous. Eto. Which picture did we leave off on? There we go. This one. Yeah. Ow! Oh, I pinched myself. This is another one of the designated safe places to fill up your water. This is the water I drank. This is the water that I drank. Let me see. Yeah, you could walk up to the little stream over here and fill up your water. I think I went to this one. Yeah, I went to this one because some other guy was on this one when I wanted to fill up my water, but I went over here and filled my water up, and man, that was some of the best tasting water I've ever had in my life. It tasted it was very cold. It was like ice cold water because it's straight fresh from a glacier, and behind this cliff over there, it's also like internal water streams inside the mountains itself. But hey Cyber, I'm gonna show off the beautiful place. Wait like 10 minutes and you'll see it. Wait like 10 minutes and you'll see it. But yeah, the water was so crisp and clean and really delicious. On the way back, I filled up all my 3 water bottles with this water and went through them really fast as well. It was beautiful. I showed this picture off. Yeah, and this was just more pictures of the path. You can see some snow here melting. I bet this river, this creek here is a lot more active when the snow is just starting to thaw. Yeah, and we're getting really close to the destination at this point. This is the cliff where Trolltunga is on. I see it here. There it is. Yeah, this is it. This was our destination. We would go over here and take pictures with each other. So, but looks can be deceiving. This is still a kilometer because you have to go around, right? It's not just straight over there because the scale is so insane here. Yeah, we were proceeding to be closer. We're pretty much at the snow line, but it was still kind of warm, despite the fact that there's snow everywhere. Whoa. And there's like a stream, just a minor stream of water here. I actually took a video of this. Let me show you. It's kind of nice. Look at that. This place was kind of refreshing because droplets of water would just splash on you and cool you down a little bit on the way. Also, of course, at this point, my legs are starting to hurt quite a bit. At this point, I've been walking for like 15 kilometers or something, 13 or so. Yeah, this is pretty much very close to the place, about 500 meters left, and we'll eventually get there. But the landscape up at the top of the mountains is so different. It's so rocky and beautiful. Yeah, you got more glaciers that are still around, or rather, the glaciers, snow. Yeah, look, you have people having walked on the snow. I was kind of tempted to get on the snow myself, but I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. And this is it. This is it. We finally made it here. What a view that was. Like, it made the entire arduous trip worth it. You can see a whole bunch of pictures getting on the Trolltunga rock, taking pictures. These are just a bunch of strangers. But man, this was crazy. My foot was hurting quite a bit at this point, and I was thinking, holy shit, the way back is gonna slay me, isn't it? Beautiful. Utterly gorgeous. There are some people, these are also a bunch of strangers, but there was this one guy who put his legs up like at the edge, over the edge, and sat there, and I'm like, this guy's insane. I was getting vertigo at this point. Looking at the distance, I was freaking out. I was like, shit, if I just take one step further, I'm gonna die. And I have a video as well. Nope. Let me show you the video. Actually, this one has audio. I'm making small talk here. Let me just let me put that back here, and I'm gonna just...
Yo, this is terrifying. I don't think I can go further than this.
It was a 4K video.
I'm freaking out. Just looked to my left and I freaked out.
The scale was insane. Buffer on the video. Wow, really?
And I'm not afraid of heights, but in a situation like this,
inner thoughts asking you to do a flip.
Freaked out.
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Camping next to me, or behind me rather.
Yeah, it was terrifying. From the cliff that I recorded that, I was like 2 meters away from the cliff. I did not dare get closer than that. Really, it's buffering. Yeah, 1440p is fucked. I'm really sorry, guys. 1440p is washed. We're going back to 1080p next stream. 1440p is washed. But yeah, it was pretty terrifying. It was pretty terrifying. It was very gorgeous though. Really worth it. On the way back, oh, that was brutal. Yo, I thought the incline was bad, but the real challenge was going downhill. Cause that really killed my knees. Oh god, it killed my knees. It destroyed my knees. Oh, let me show you this again before we move on. Oh, not from this folder. That was dangerous. Okay. So it was just that video that made it buffer. Yeah, I think if there's too much action going on, then it makes things slow. So, well, good to know. It happens to literally everybody on the planet. Anyway, so we took a half-hour break there, ate dinner, ate our sandwiches and whatnot, and we prepared to make our trek back. Because we wanted to be back by 7 p.m. That would be when the last buses would go. But I took a look at the time and I was like, we have to make it back by 2 hours? That's never gonna happen. Ooh. But the way back was brutal. We were already pretty goddamn worn out from walking as long as we did. And this part right here killed us. The 1 kilometer long downhill climb, because that's what kills you. That's what kills you. The buffer earlier pushed the latency to 30%. Ooh, maybe I should turn DVR on for people. I don't think I can do that now that the stream has started. But actually I can. Let me turn it on. If that helps people, then I suppose... There we go. I turned DVR on. So for those who are buffering right now, you can go ahead and refresh the stream and it'll probably help you. At least it wasn't like your parents where they had to uphill and downhill both ways. So we made it all the way over here. By this point, I was in utter agony. My legs have never hurt as much as they have on this day than any other hike or walk that I've ever done. And I've walked a long time in Japan. Like, I've walked until my feet are crushed, but that pain is localized only to my feet, not the rest of my legs. My thighs were hurting. My shins were in hell. My knees are destroyed. Thank you for confirming. That should fix the buffering issue for a couple of you at least, I think. Now you can skip back. But my knees, oh. And anyway, eventually we make it back to P3. But what do you know? It's 9 p.m. There's no bus anymore. So what do? And we look at the signs. We're like, is there any other way we can go down? Can we go down with somebody who is parked up here? But nope. So we begrudgingly had to walk this additional like 5 kilometer. Oh, how much was it? 2.5 kilometers. It's 5 kilometers in total, back and forth. But one way is 2.5 kilometer. Yeah, no bus. The buses were gone. So we were like in utter agony. And by the halfway points, yeah, we started walking at 11 a.m. and we were back by 9 p.m. So that was like a 10 to 11 hour walk. I would say 10 hours, not if we remove all the breaks we took. Because of course, it wasn't just like a straight on path. We would take a break up here for like 5 minutes, break here, and those are very important. Damn in the night. Here's the thing, Sharon. In Scandinavia, the sun doesn't go down. So it was bright at the very least. At the very least, it was bright. But yeah, we begrudgingly... At this point, I was ready to just give up and die. But I guess I had an additional 2.5 kilometers in me. And we start going down. Now, at this point, what has also happened is that halfway along this road, we lost our ability to walk forward. As funny as that sounds, we kind of lost the ability to walk forward because it was hurting so badly. So you know what we did? We walked backwards downhill. We were careful and walked backwards. And that was so much more soothing on the legs because you don't put any pressure on the knees anymore. You put pressure on other muscles and bones. And yeah, we started walking backwards. And it was really funny. It was really fucking funny though. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, this is what it's come to. We're in so much agony that we're walking backwards. But we got lucky, because around this point over here, we saw a taxi actually go up, and we were like, what? They have taxis? They have taxis? And I noted the name of the taxi firm, and it skipped past us because it couldn't stop. It had other clients up here apparently. But I called the taxi firm, and I was like, yo, bro, we're over here. We just saw a taxi. Is that taxi able to just come and pick us up? I'm gonna swap back to Skelly. We were like, is that taxi able to come pick us up? And bro on the other line was like, well, I'll call that taxi and I'll ask him. And we didn't hear from them for like 10 minutes, and we're still walking down, right? But eventually we saw that same taxi come down, and he stopped, and he was like, are you the guys who called? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, well, my car is currently full with other clients right now, but if you can make it to P2, I'll come back for you guys, and I'll take you to P1. And we were like, oh, thank God. Yes, please. We're dying. So we rode off. He rode away, and we eventually made it to the parking lot here. And that's the point where my legs just completely fell apart. I went to a bench and instantly laid down on it, and it was the most satisfying sitting down of my life. Oh, my legs were gone. And then my parents also showed up a minute later, because I was ahead of them a bit. And they also started sitting down, and we waited there for like 20 minutes until the taxi showed up again. And, you know, much to nobody's surprise, when I got up to get in the taxi, I could barely walk. I was walking like a ghoul, a zombie. Left this family behind. I was literally just like, 20 meters ahead of them, while mom and dad were slowly making their way, because I was just dreaming of sitting down. But yeah, the taxi showed up. We got in, and he took us to P1. At P1, we got off the taxi and got on our car. Now, we were at this point, we were willing to pay any price. We don't care if the guy charges us $100, $200. We just need to get to the car, because remember, from P2 to P1 is a 10-kilometer walk. Yo, Marlpeas, you went somewhere? Yeah, I went to Norway. Should have taken up the mountain hike too. Yeah, we didn't know it this the entire mountain hike. Yeah, there was no car road. We couldn't. I think the only thing you can take here is helicopter, and they reserve the helicopters for emergencies. Along the way, there were like these signposts that told you the area zone number. So if an accident happened there, you could call a 911 or 112 in Norway, and a helicopter would come pick you up if you maybe broke your leg or something. But yeah, it would have been impossible to walk the last 10 kilometers, so the taxi came in clutch. And I'll tell you now, if there was no taxi, we would have just slept on the bench like homeless people until morning, until the buses started running again and gone over to our parking. But yeah, we finally made it back. We drove 30 minutes back to our cabin. And this is what happens when you sit down for 30 minutes in a car after you've hiked for like 30 kilometers. Your legs lock up. I was crawling up to my bed. When I took a shower afterwards, I could not stand up. I had to grab a stool and just let the water pour down. I looked like Hajime no Ippo. This was how I was taking a shower. Let me get the Hajime no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo meme. Oh no, it's Ashita no Jo. Never mind, it's Ashita no Jo, not Hajime no Ippo. Not Hajime no Ippo, it's Ashita no Jo. This is how I was in the shower. This is the pose. This is how, imagine that's me and there's water running down me. I was just leaning down, grabbing the soap and whatnot, the shampoo, getting myself washed up. I was also pretty sunburnt, so I didn't use warm water. Otherwise, my legs, not my legs, my arms would burn and hurt. So I used cold water. And I was not feeling good. I had definitely overexerted myself after that long walk. Should have taken it. You will never hike because of stories like this. Yeah, body is useless at that point. And you know what Dad is doing at this point? Bone Man suffers one leg day at the gym. Dad is in the living room and he turned on the game and watched soccer. He was unbothered. He was also hurting, of course, but not as much as us because he goes on fishing trips all the time. So he gets a decent hike in and exercise in. But me and my mother were gone. We were dead. Oh, we were dying. I slept soundly that night though. I slept good. But that one night's rest was not enough for my legs to recover. When I got up the next day, because the next day in the morning we were going back home, my legs were still hurting. I could kind of crawl, like skippy around. What do you call it? I could walk around like a zombie. That's the best I could do until my legs got used to it. Ugh. Where is this? Let me skip past these images again. Ugh. Yeah, but yeah, we got our stuff packed up. Skulking, yeah, we skulking. No, my sister was in Italy. My sister was in Italy and getting proposed to by her boyfriend. Right, apply cold water to burnt area. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she wanted to come along actually, but maybe it was for the best. She works out though. She works out a lot. She does Pilates. I bet this hike would have been fine for her. She would have been completely fine. I mean, she would have had some leg pains for sure, but she would have been fine. Me and my mother works out as well. She was also dead. I'm not that much of a worker outer. I mean, I do the bare minimum, but yeah, I was dead. And you know, on the ride home, I was also a bit too exhausted to play anything on my Switch too. So I was just kind of in a zombie state. I hadn't rested enough apparently. Could have used more sleep. Definitely could have used more sleep. But we had to get going early in the morning. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get home in time. It was a 9-hour drive after all, from that point to my hometown. But hey, you remember that mountaintop place I talked about before? I showed off this place. Me, my dad, my mom was like, that place was definitely the most beautiful place we went to. So we made a stop there again. Just because we wanted to check it out again and just hang out there for like 20 minutes. And what's really funny is that, oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention this, but in Norway, oh, here's a picture of that. At this time, it was not windy and the water was still. So it was like a perfect reflection on the water. Much more beautiful than the first time. Let's compare. First time, it was windy, so the water was not still. Second time, the water was still. So it created this beautiful mirroring effect. Absolutely gorgeous. But here's a little fun fact that I found out about Norway. Farmers who live in the mountain, they let their sheep loose. They just let them loose. In the spring, when it's getting warm again, everybody just GPS tags their sheep and lets them loose. So on the way to the mountain, we saw a lot of wild sheep just chilling around. And in this place in particular, there were a lot of sheep as well. It was really sunny. So from my POV there, if you look backwards, this is what you would see. A whole bunch of free roaming sheep just chilling in the shade. It was really adorable. It was really adorable. We would see a lot of them. I have more sheep pictures in this folder. Let me bring them. Yeah, that was a really surprising thing. I was like, why are there so many wild sheep? And it's really funny when you're hiking in the mountaintops of Norway. You don't have to worry about bears and deer, or elk. I mean, bears and elks, because they kind of hang out in lower elevations. but you will see a lot of wild or free roaming sheep, and those will be your biggest obstacle. Now, they won't really attack you because they're domesticated sheep, but it's still really funny that this is a really common view. I have more sheep pictures around here. I just need to find them. No, not that one. Where are they? Where are the sheep at? I don't know. Yeah, here we have more sheep just chilling around. It's really funny. Over here as well, just free roaming sheep. And yeah, as I said, it was really surprising when I looked it up later, and they just do this. They GPS tag all the sheep. They let them roam freely wherever they want up until fall comes around, and then all the farmers will just look up where their sheep are with the GPS tags and just come round them up. And they don't stray from each other. They hang around in groups. And look, there's a goat with them as well. I guess the goat kind of herds them around. Goats and sheep. Maybe these are more goats rather than sheep. I don't know. But yeah, they just wrangle them in or reel them in during fall and bring them back to the farm. I guess imagine how delicious the meat of these sheep are. Love the sheep. Yeah, it was adorable. I love sheep. I think they're adorable. Very cute animals. Let's go back. But yeah, that was my trip back home. The following day was just the following day I had to head over to my aunt's place because my aunt and her children. You want to eat them? Yeah, you can just get free mutton that way. Hell yeah. But yeah, we arrived home on Friday night, and on Saturday evening I was supposed to go over to my aunt's place in Stockholm because my aunt and her children and my aunt and her family, they're planning on going to the far north of Sweden, and they just happened to be passing by the town I live in. So I was like, hey, let me hitch a ride with you guys. And they were like, we would love to have you. So yeah, I went to their place with my mother on Saturday evening, or Saturday afternoon actually. We went in the morning. We went to my grandmother's place to just visit her once real quick, and then we went over to my aunt's place, hung out with them all night. And my mother went home. I stayed behind, slept over, and then I rode with them for like 10 kilometers, 10 hours, not 10 kilometers, like 900 kilometers up north. And I offered to drive like half the way, and it was nice. It was nice getting to drive for so long again after not having been driving in a car for a very long time, because I don't have a car up here. But it was nice. It was a nice road trip. Now I had to raw dog that trip. I did have my Switch and stuff with me, and I did want to play a bit of Mario on the way there, but like, her children are really well behaved. Like, they're not iPad kids or anything. Although the youngest son, 11 years old, he is brain rotted, and I'm going to tell you about his brain rot in a bit. He is pretty brain rotted, but he's not an iPad kid. He got that from school and whatnot. He would say 6, 7 all the time, and this is really funny though. He thinks he is obsessed with how stupid looks maxing is. He doesn't like he makes fun of looks maxing all the time. You know, the looks maxer is like fucking, I'm not gonna say his name, so let's call him Cardiovascular. We'll call him Cardiovascular, and he thinks that guy is stupid as shit. And he's an 11-year-old kid, and so I like that he thinks that looks maxing is stupid. But he would make fun of looks maxing all the time. He would be like, hey, cousin, did you know that? Also, by the way, the eldest daughter, she's like 14. No, she's 15 at this point. She calls me Unk. She calls me Unk all the time. She was like, hey, Unk. And I was like, God damn it. But yeah, he was like, hey, cousin, do you know about looks maxing? And I was like, yeah, where'd you learn about that? They're like, and he was like, yeah, they hammer their jaw to make it look better. It's stupid. Look at this. And he whips out this Nokia phone. He has a phone, but not a smartphone, just a regular phone, right? Just like the classic phones of the old days, like a Nokia 3310, but with a color screen. And he brings it up. He's like, look, I'm tapping my jaw. This is how Looksmaxers say their jaw looks better. And he was just laughing his ass off. He was like, it's the stupidest shit ever. And on the way to my hometown, while I was driving, the GPS took us through like a really bumpy road. Like there were potholes all over the road. And I was like, God damn, look at this. Look at the road. It's potholes everywhere. I gotta drive carefully. Well, what are they doing with this road? And the kid from the back seat, he was like, they Looksmaxed the road. And I was fucking laughing my ass off. Dude was really quick with that joke. You know, like how they hammer the fucking jaw? They're like hammering the roads, Looksmaxing the road. And I was laughing my ass off. That dude is clever. That kid is clever, man. Oh god, I was laughing so hard hearing that Looksmaxing the road because it's full of potholes. SpongeBob predicted Looksmaxing with handsome Squidward. They did. I was thinking about that the other day. I was looking at a picture of handsome Squidward. I was like, all right, they shaped his face because they smashed his face with a door until he became super handsome. So yeah, they did predict Looksmaxing. Fun kid. Of course, you know, being 11 years old, he would also make 6-7 jokes like all the time. Now, luckily, he did not make Italian brain rot memes at all. He thinks those are boring and dumb and stupid. And you know, it was really funny. The eldest daughter, she claims, you know, she's too old for 6-7. So when I, you know, humored my little cousin, I was like, hey, 6-7. And he would do 6-7 too. And she looked at me. She was like, oh, Unc, I can't believe you would 6-7 too. I'm so disappointed in you. And then little bastard looks at her brother and starts 6-7ing at me too. Oh, those kids are too clever. She was being sarcastic. Little did I know that she was also brain rotted with 6-7. She thought it was funny as fuck, saying that to me and then doing a 6-7 on my face. Great kids. My aunt's kids are definitely the most behaved and talented kids I've ever run across, because their parents, they really control what they consume, and they heavily encourage learning. Like these kids, they could read well before you usually start reading in preschool, in elementary, and whatever. Like they would have them just learn math in a fun way, like gamify math, right? Make it fun stuff at a really early age. So they're both math whizzes because their parents supported them a lot. Fucking 11-year-old kid, he can play the piano. What can I do? Play nothing. Games. I can play games. That's about it. But yeah, those kids are gonna grow up. And apparently I've inspired the 11-year-old boy to study Japanese because he was doing Duolingo Japanese on his dad's phone. He gets to borrow his dad's phone just to do Duolingo and play Pokemon Go on permission. So he was doing that. I'm like, damn, these kids are gonna be bright. They're gonna be very bright. It's gonna be good. They're gonna have a good upbringing, I guess. The little kid though, he has what do you call it? He has too much energy though. He's also really funny. He's really funny. I think on the dinner table when we arrived in my town, after they dropped their stuff up, because yeah, my aunt and her family, they were gonna sleep over in my town, not in my place. My place is too small, but they were gonna overnight at a hotel because the drive to where they want to go is just simply too long. So they stayed at a hotel, but before they settled in for the night, we went and had dinner. And my aunt asked the little kid, was like, so if you're allowed to do anything for one day, what would you do? And he would be like, I would rob a bank. I would do drugs. I would like go party and be awesome. I was like, when he said do drugs, I thought that was really fucking funny. And he doesn't really mean it. He doesn't really know what drugs are. He just thinks it sounds funny. So he just says that. So he just says shit without knowing the implications of what they actually mean. Now, I think if he knew what fucking heroin was, he wouldn't say that. But he's at that age where stuff like this is just silly and funny to him. So he would just say that. And I was like, damn, what a kid. What a kid. GTA life, yeah, definitely. Oh god, don't let him play GTA. Never let him play the GTA. Really funny. Funny kid. Apollo, we need to cook. Yeah, we need to cook some blue meth. And the kid is always... He made another funny joke. He is obsessed with age. Like he also says "unk" all the time. And he was like, hey Apollo, I know that you're unk, but my dad is more unk than you. And then at some point in the car, my aunt and her husband were talking about this old guy who recently passed away. He recently passed away. Now, this is, of course, somebody passing away is not a fun talk. But then the kid, he's listening to the conversation and he's like, damn, the old guy, he died from unk. He was too unk and died from unkness. And I was just fucking in my seat, almost dying of laughter. These kids, they come up with funny stuff, dying from being unk. I mean, I guess that's true. Died of old age. I guess that is dying from unk. Really funny kid. I look forward to see how he grows up. I mean, as long as he lets go of the whole robbing a bank and doing drugs kind of thing, I don't think he'll ever do drugs. I mean, shit, the kid declined ice cream. When I asked him, hey, we were at McDonald's. We did a pit stop there, had a lunch, and I really wanted a McFlurry, so I got one. And I asked both the kids. I was like, hey, do you guys want any ice cream? And they're like, nah, it's too much sugar. We'll have some dried fruit instead. I'm like, oh, okay, wow, cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not often you see a kid decline ice cream. Meanwhile, look at me, fucking boomer ass skeleton over here eating ice cream like a baby. They're healthier than I am. Well, what do you know? Funny kids. I like them. They're my favorite cousins. Definitely I mean, I don't really have that many cousins to begin with. Let me see. I have both my aunts have children, and my uncle has one child as well. My uncle's child is really well behaved, and she's pretty smart too. She's into anime, so we always talk about anime together when we meet. When I met her at the family gathering, we talked about anime. She was like, oh, so what kind of anime have you seen lately? But she also always goes on TikTok and gets her ass spoiled. Man, she always gets her ass spoiled. She was like, oh, I saw Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers on TikTok. It was this and that. I'm like, well, you like Jujutsu Kaisen and you don't read the manga, so why would you go check the spoilers? Sai, you don't care for ice cream much anymore, but you can still not turn down an offer. I know, right? It's like one of the best treats. Got to stop the kid if he ever has interest in pharma chemistry. Yeah, it's gonna turn into the next Walter White. The kid is really bright for his age. Or he's gonna make the cleanest meth known to man. Cleanest meth. But yeah, and then the other two cousins that I mentioned. But my other aunt's kids, they're a little bit too young. I mean, my eldest cousin, she's 20 years old. She's kind of troubled. There's a whole bit of drama about her, and like, she's also not really a good person. She ended up not being a good person at all. Very ungrateful. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna go into personal family drama, but she's very ungrateful, and I think she currently just cut everybody off for some reason and ran off somewhere. Nobody knows where she is at the moment. But whatever. She's 20 years old. She can take care of herself. Anyway. And the two other children my aunt has with her other husband are way too young. They're like, this is coincidence, but they're 6-7 years old. That's actually really funny too, because I was watching over them at some point during the trip, and I asked them, hey, how old are you guys now? And and then both of them in unison, they go, I'm 6 and she's 6 and she's 7, 6, 7. I'm like, God damn it. This brain rot has gone way too far. And they're literally 6, 7 years old, which is funny. But yeah, but my other aunt's children, they're my favorite cousins. Yeah. They're so well behaved and fun, actually fun to hang around with. I don't really like hanging around with kids, with like relatives, kids and whatnot. But those two, they're always a treat. They're fucking funny. And they're smart. So you can't really fool them. I like just gaslighting kids. Now, when I gaslight kids, I will always tell them afterwards, no, everything I said was a lie. I was just kidding. I was just messing around. It's just, you know, innocent gaslights. Like, hey, did you know that in that tower over there, they burn bad children? So you better behave. And they're like, oh my God, they do? And then I'm like, nah, I'm just kidding. Stuff like that. Innocent stuff like that. But you cannot fool the other ones. They're way too smart. They're way too smart. You can say some bullshit and they'll see right through you. And that's why I like it. That's why I like them. But yeah, that was my trip back home. It was 2 weeks. I got back like the other day. 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. Oh, I mean, I suppose I may as well mention this. Before I left on my trip, one of my Kingston SSDs died. Now, luckily, I didn't really have anything important on that drive at all. I guess I may as well get rid of the picture and move myself to the middle. Eto. No, not the Y-axis, the X-axis. There we go. And then I'll transform back into a human. And I'll move chat down as well. Yeah. Human transformation. There we go. Yeah. So my SSD died. And it was only like 3 years old. So I was really surprised. I was like, damn, why the hell did this die? Now, I did say, luckily, it's the drive with pretty much only my games on it. I did have one folder with important stuff on it. My stream folder. Which I hadn't backed up in like a year. Now, but before it died, the only symptom it showed of it dying was very slow speeds. Like, we're talking about a couple of megabytes per second. And it indicates that the issue was not the memory modules themselves, but the controller of the SSD that was dying. So I backed up my streaming folder real quick. And then, like, shortly after that got backed up, the entire drive died. And it only had my games on it aside from the streaming folder, so it was like, whatever. I'll just download them again from Steam. But I was really pissed off because, you know, it's a Kingston SSD, Gen 4 SSD. So when I bought it, it was about $180, $200. And now if you buy that new, it's $400 because of AI ruining the entire ecosystem. But I noticed, hey, does this still have warranty on it? And I looked up Kingston's policy for that. And yeah, it has 5-year warranty on it. So I contacted Kingston. I managed to get a whole bunch of diagnostic files. I did a stress test. I ran Kingston's official SSD app and got a whole bunch of files and whatnot. And I even gave them a screenshot of the performance of it, of how it had degraded heavily. I think I have a screenshot of how badly it degraded around here. Is it on this SSD? No, it's gone. I deleted it. Anyway, it was really bad. It was extremely slow. Well, actually, here it is. Yeah, these are the speeds. 128 megabyte read and 14 megabyte write. And this is a drive that does 7,000 megabytes on each. 7,300 or something on each write and read. So it was fucked. But yeah, I managed to give them all the diagnostics info and whatnot, and they were like, bro, we got you. Here, we'll send you a replacement, but you gotta send the old one back, just, you know, as a security measure. Because apparently some people, they just make the warranty claim and get a free SSD when their other SSD is not broken at all. So I had to send the old one back, and I did that. And when they received it, they sent me the new one. Now, I was really worried at some point. I was like, wait a minute, they have my address at home. They have my address at home, and I'm not there right now. And usually because they won't be able to access my post or mailbox, because I live in a closed apartment with a locked door, and DHL, they send it with DHL, and DHL does not have access to the gate, only PostNord has. So usually they'll just tell me to pick it up at DHL's pickup location, but they only keep the package there for a week, and I was freaking out. I was like, I'm not even there. And I've had issues in the past where I asked for an extension, but the extension doesn't go through, and it's a whole mess. But then I noticed, like, DHL sent me a message. They're like, hey, we're gonna deliver this thing. And luckily, I could change the address to my parents' place, and I did that, and I just got it delivered there. Thank God. And I installed it just now. It works beautifully. Installed so many games on it as well. Beautiful. I was going to be devastated if I didn't get a new one. So, hey, that ended up going well. And I was really surprised at how smooth the address change was, because I was kind of being skeptical about it. But hey, I got it. We got it. So that crisis has been averted, and I got my replacement. Thank God Kingston has a 5-year warranty, and that the fact that they honored it, I was kind of also expecting them to not honor it. So I was kind of freaking out there too, because I heard like Samsung has been really iffy with their 5-year warranty. I know that there's this YouTuber recently who, Mike Ross, was that the guy? He's a really big advocate of self-repair and stuff. But his SSD was messing up, and like Samsung refused to send him a new one. And I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen to me, but there's not an issue. However, I will say, every SSD that I've had failing on me has been either crucial or anything. Let me say that again. Let me reword that. Other brands other than Samsung and Western Digital have been very iffy for me personally, in my opinion. So I'm kind of, every other drive in my computer is either Samsung or Western Digital. And I'm kind of afraid that the Kingston drive that I got back, it's a brand new drive, never used. I had to initialize it and everything. I'm kind of afraid that in 3 years' time, that thing's gonna die on me as well, but we'll see. Because usually I would want at least 5-6 years of lifespan on those SSDs before I have to replace it. I get that SSDs aren't as reliable as a hard drive, but I mean, 3 years, come on. My Crucial drive that I had installed Windows on 2 years ago, it was also about 3 years old. Crapped out on me, and Crucial didn't give me a new one. I had to buy a new one. Fucking Crucial. But yeah, anyway. At least I didn't have anything important on that one either. I keep my personal files on drives that are designed for long-term storage instead of like fast and super speedy drives. So like hard drives, externals and whatnot. And stuff that isn't backed up, it's on my 4 terabyte SATA SSD. And that one's been super reliable and nice. I also have this nearly 8-year-old 1 terabyte SATA SSD from Samsung that's just there in my computer at the moment, not really doing much. What is on it? My F drive? It's mostly just backups and whatnot. Anyway, yeah, I have way too much storage on this computer. But yeah, that was my trip and my little SSD tangent. Pretty fun. Would I go up that mountain again? Yes, but only after I'm physically prepared with the proper gear. Cause fuck, I was not. I was neither of those. Damn. Sounds like a super packed up fun trip. Yeah, it was. It was nice seeing the family. I didn't want to see the bigger family. I'm forced to see them anyway. But yeah, that was that. During all the downtime, I played Paper Mario and Genshin Impact on my phone. So it was good. It was good. All that SSD is going to be taken up by GTA 6. I'm not going to buy GTA 6. I'm not into GTA. Besides, GTA 6 is not coming out for PC anyway. At least in the first year or so. I believe they'll eventually release it on PC, but I doubt. Very big doubts. But yeah, that was my trip. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. As far as streams go, I'm trying to decide on what to play. I have completely forgotten what I had planned to play. What was my list? What was my list? I'll figure it out, man. My brain is kind of pooped at the moment from too much talking. But one stream that I am going to do on the weekend, probably Saturday, is Deltarune. I'm going to do the weird route of chapter 5. I hear it's kind of short, so that may be a short stream. So yeah, that's that. What else? What else? I do want to revisit No, I'm Not a Human, but I want to start a long game as well. How much is... I missed the Steam sale, by the way. Kind of wanted to pick up Digimon Time Stranger, but that kind of completely went by me. I also bought 2 games, though. 2 other games. I think I got Rain World. We can try out Rain World. Yeah, let's try out Rain World. Let me check my Steam purchases. Oh, I was gifted Sonic Racing Crossworlds by my friend, and I installed it, so we can try that out as well. I want to see what it's like. Sonic Racing Crossworld. Hell yeah. A lot of Sonic. I know I bought two games. Oh, I bought Cruelty Squad. Okay, I can check that out as well. But yeah, we can check out Rain World and whatnot. Yeah. Should be a fun little adventure. Anyway, folks, I think I'm gonna call it here. Next stream is just gonna be in 1080p, I guess. I'm gonna explore. I think I am gonna eventually explore multi-streaming. Oh, I do have a Twitch account. I streamed there last maybe 3 years ago. I think. I wish I had better internet. The thing with my apartment is, it's a Oh, nice. Good timing on your arrival. You're gonna have to watch the VOD, Draconic. It was a whole Norway adventure. There was a lot of memes and adventure and dead legs. And right. I also do have to play Dota 2. I haven't forgotten about that, Draconic. Don't worry about that. And then Cyber had me play. He also forced me to go through Kingdom Hearts 3's data battles. He paid good money for that, so that's also on the table. But this summer, you know, I don't have university until August 31st. So I have a lot of free time, and I want to ramp up the streams. So it should be good. I have a lot of free time now. Hell yeah. But yeah, I think I'll schedule all the game streams that I have and later on after this, and I'll just post them. Who needs legs? We don't. But though, Yola, with legs we can be stylish like this. We can have stylish legs. Don't you agree? I think I'm too zoomed in. Good hiking. Anything else? Just trying to think of anything else I may have forgotten. Mario 1000 Year Door is pretty good. I think it's a little bit slow, which kind of frustrates me every now and then. It's a pet peeve of mine when it's slow. But otherwise, it's fun. Like, for example, when you do an attack and you have to watch your star meter go up. Like, come on, let me just go up while I'm playing the game. Stuff like that. And I wish Mario ran a little bit faster. But other than that, Mario 1000 Year Door has been fun. Right, I wanted to check the price of Digimon Time Stranger. It's still kind of expensive. I might buy it because I do want to play a long game on stream, and Digimon Time Stranger seems really fun. What about on this site? Any cheaper here? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll buy the game. I'll buy the game and we'll play it. We're gonna have fun. That's probably gonna be the next big game we play starting next week or so, and it's gonna be a good time. I also have not forgotten about Armored Core. I need to go back to Armored Core. Fuck, there's so much to do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. Let's see who we can raid into. Do we have any buddy, any homie we can raid into? It's a customization, redirect. Who's streaming at the moment? Any of my friends? No, not really, I guess. we're just gonna leave it at that then. All right, thank you guys so much for coming. It was a good chat. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Otsubon. I should. Oh, now that I have extra time during this summer, I should work on a proper ending screen and a new intro screen. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that. Bye bye.